And welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian,
And I'm Kyle.
and it's a two-win kind of week.
It really is. And after last night's amazing, epic, like
I'm
just
still on a high from it.
it really is. I mean, that was a lot of excitement last night. So
I mean, when's the last time we felt that excitement? Probably the Eastern Conference Final.
yeah, no, that was that kind of crowd and atmosphere last night.
Electric.
And hey, Union come off of 2 wins in a row this week. Lot to be excited about. And so we're gonna talk about that today. And we're going to talk a little bit about Jose Martinez re-signed with the Union. And then, recap the matches. We had a lot of merchandise drop this week.
We did.
So, a little bit of fashion show, and then just kind of look ahead to the next couple of games. Busy week not only for the Union, but for also the Union players themselves with international duties coming up and what that will look like. So, but before we get started, what are we wearing today?
Well, I am wearing my Sons of Ben rainbow shirt here, one of my favorites. And I actually wore this scarf last night. Of course, I went with Lucky Jersey, as always, the Unity jersey. And I have that Soccer for All scarf. I wore that last night for the first time. And so for me, it's not the scarf that's part of the Lucky combination. So I could pretty much interchange that, but I thought that was a good one to wear. Got my I just braided this during the tailgate. They had scraps from the TIFO that you could use for whatever. I was gonna make a headband. I just ended up making it kind of more like a necklace. So that is what I'm wearing. How about you, Kyle?
And I'm wearing my favorite skull, soccer ball, whatever you want to say, with the Union logo on it. So one of my favorite shirts I just happen to wear all the time. But before we get started again, make sure you subscribe and interact with us on Twitter, and that's at theoneteamweagreeon, and then on Facebook and Instagram at the One Team We Agree On, all one word, and then also at Spotify, Apple, and Google. And subscribers notes or subscriber notes. Subscriptions are coming up, so thank you very much for all those.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, and on YouTube as well. So great to see that. But let's talk a little bit about Brujo. All right.
Yes.
So Brujo, it was announced this week that he has re-signed with the Union through 2025 with a option for 2026. I mean, he's registered 78 regular seasons appearances since 2020 with 10 assists. That doesn't include postseason and, CONCACAF and all that.
Right.
And then here's a fun little fact. Since 2022, he has had the most recoveries per game, which is at 9.6 per game, which is tops amongst MLS midfielders. So,
nice.
I mean, we talk all the time what Jose does. So how you feel about this signing? Because I'm pretty excited about it. When you can lock up your basically your defensive midfielder at the top of your spine, it's a win-win.
No, I for one am thrilled because I love Brujo. I think he is huge part of the team. I mean, you can tell the difference when he's not there.
Right.
And those few games that he missed definitely felt a hole there. Not anything against the other guys. And I think, for instance, Bueno, actually, since he got the start last night, he filled in real nicely there. But Brujo just got that,
he has experience.
Special. He does. He really just does so much for setting up goals, keeping the ball from getting even back, to the center backs. He does such a good job, I think. And let's be honest, I love his personality.
And he brings that toughness in a game that
he's got that dog in him.
He does. And when the game is just a grind out game, that's the guy you kind of want on the field, because his games, he's done a much better job, albeit last night, which we'll talk about, of really calming down and knowing when to get into, confrontations. I mean, he's still going to be aggressive and you like it. It's a double-edged sword. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you love that aggressiveness,
We
but
love that. But that sometimes like no yellow, Jose, no yellow, as Jim was saying the other day, which
at the same time, a really good club needs that kind of person. You really do. You need that cleanup guy. And that's what Jose brings. At the end of the day, I think this gives them also flexibility. I know earlier on in the year he was linked with possibly moving on in the winter transfer window. So now this gives the Union a little bit more of, okay, maybe down the road they can control his contract if they want to move off of him. If Choo Choo continues to improve, we'll see.
Right.
But I think we know Jose loves the city.
Yeah.
He said several times he wants to be here. So
he fits in Philly really well.
He does.
Let's be honest here.
He really, really does. So at the end of the day, if an offer comes, you can move off of him. Cool. We hope not. We hope he stays here for his career. But, again, great piece of business there by the Union. So
glad they got that done.
Yeah. So let's again talk about a great week for the Union. 6 points. So we're going to talk first about Wednesday night's game against Charlotte. We did not have a midweek podcast.
Busy week for us.
It was. Hopefully now with school ending and summer season
3 days to go.
We'll be able to maybe do a couple interviews midweek, but we'll see. But Wednesday night was an unofficial tailgate. Thought the crowd there was good. Spent a lot of time talking to some new fans that we got to meet, and we also we're handing out stickers. But
if you don't have any of your stickers yet, come see us. We'd love to give out some stickers.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to share is we had a Charlotte contingency.
There were a few Charlotte fans there, and a few of them were at our unofficial tailgate, and this guy had the most awesome scarf. We always thought that their new jersey really does look kind of like a Pop-Tart, because I used to love those kind as a kid, where are they like blue raspberry or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like they're wildberry, I think.
Wildberry.
I haven't had one in years.
If somebody knows out there for sure.
I think it's wildberry. We used to get those and brown sugar cinnamon. Those are the superior kind.
Brown sugar cinnamon.
That is like top. And then I would say this one is one of the best ones too.
But it was funny because I was over there at the beer trailer and I was talking to the one guy that had the new kit on, and I was telling him, I was like, hey, I think that's the top 3 kit. And he was really nice about it. And I was like, it's like a Pop-Tart. And he said it, and then this guy turns around and goes, oh, I have the scarf. I'm like, you have the Mint Collective Pop-Tart scarf? He goes, yeah. And he pulls it out and shows us. And long story short, he was like, you want to trade? And if we had one of our Sons of Ben scarves, he was actually looking at the one this year, and we have an extra one. I was like, we could have added that to a collection. But at the same time, it's a beautiful scarf, and I appreciate him. And I said, do you mind if I, you post this? He goes, absolutely not. So thank you very much. I forgot his name, unfortunately, but we had a great conversation with him there while you were over there talking to people. They were feeling pretty confident coming up, and a couple of them were like, oh, we know what we're getting into coming to Philly. But then a couple were like, no, we've been playing good. And so they were really awesome and great to see some people just showing up. And
we've had people at the tailgate before that were from the other teams, or we had Cincinnati people at ours last year, was it?
Everybody's welcome. It's always fun to talk to people and get a new perspective of the game. And then just walking through. One thing I did notice, Union Yards on Wednesday was dead pregame.
Yeah, I thought it was even more dead yesterday, but
we can talk about that too.
It was actually going pretty good after the game, though.
It was. But let's talk about pregame. We'll get to the next slide here.
Yeah.
So
it finally happened. I've been saying this forever. They've got to get Jason Kelsey to strike the drum, and it's funny because we were listening to New Heights podcast
Yes, we were.
on the way to the game
And we're
from
like,
that day.
and we're like, when is Jason going to show up? I'm like, it'd be great if
Yeah.
he shows up at like, if we host an MLS Cup or like another Eastern
Yeah.
Conference Finals or big match, and
Right.
then
Was I expecting it for just a Wednesday regular game? No, but no complaints because it was awesome. I mean, Jason Kelsey delivered. Number one, he banged the crap out of that drum. I mean, he bent that mallet, and then he promptly pulls out a beer and chugs the beer.
So we're gonna watch it right now. So we don't have audio on this. I don't know why the audio is not working, but
Yeah. I did post the video though on Twitter.
But look at that. He just gets on and he just banged that.
Yes.
I mean, he's putting force in that. He breaks
Yes.
the mallet. That's great. Then he takes a scarf. I think where is it? Yeah, he pulls the scarf off and he just like hammers it. Gave a couple extra racks. So that was cool, man.
He's built for this. I mean, and the other thing
we missed the crack in the beer, and then he cracks the beer out.
I thought I got a different video of that, but maybe not.
The other cool part of that was he comes out and like then goes into the supporter section.
Yeah, it's funny because I was right after I was thinking, oh man, he should totally come to the supporter section, and then I looked down and there he is. And since you can't hear the audio for some reason, it probably wouldn't translate over very well anyway. But he's doing the "No one likes us" chant, which, as everyone knows, he did at the Eagles Super Bowl parade. And so that was just epic. And the fact that he was up there with the fans, it was amazing. I mean, I was super excited about Stu being the drum striker.
Emotional right now.
And I loved having Stu, and that was like so exciting to me. And then I have to say, this topped it. And it was awesome.
Wait a minute, Jason Kelsey topped Stu.
I mean, in terms of just how awesome, I mean, Stu didn't come up in the stands.
No, but Stu.
But it's Stu. Yes, Stu. Come back anytime. But yeah, Jason Kelsey brought it, and you love to see it.
You do. So let's talk about the actual game.
And then the game got rolling. How about how that game started?
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, the Union come out right away, and
this is when Jason's leading those chants, and everyone's fired up to begin with. And then
the atmosphere is really good. They're coming out, and like because now during the games, if I'm not up in the press box typing notes, I'm actually using my phone recorder to record notes just on thoughts. And first thing I said was like 3 minutes, like 1 minute in, Union looked like they're ready to take care of business tonight. And
we took it right down.
And we took it right down. Carranza hits the post, and you're like,
crossbar.
Maybe it was a crossbar. And all of a sudden you almost have 1-0 lead.
Yep.
And so for me, I thought, first 15 minutes it looked like $1 million. Then it started getting back and forth a little bit. We had a couple chances. I thought Flock, and we're going to talk about this right now. Let's just get into it. Flock and Jose together, double pivot. So one goes up, one stays back, one goes up, the other stays back. That's Leon's natural position.
Yeah.
He said he's confident there. We're now all of a sudden, again, at the beginning of the season, even when we were playing double pivot, we're like, oh my gosh, what's Leon doing? He's got his confidence back. He's playing very confident. Huge. And you're noticing that on the field, and you notice that this whole game, the teamwork between those two.
Yes, absolutely. Leon has been playing really well. And with him in his natural position, what a difference.
Yeah, I thought they both did a good job of really limiting Swiderski, keeping Miram to a minimum with his playmaking abilities. So overall, I was really happy with that. I mean, there was that one mistake early on that led to a shot from Jack Elliott. He had that one cough up. Like the ball went down, they got it, and he shot it, and then Blake made a save. But other than that, it was a very solid first half. The only thing I would say was Ua offsides on that first goal?
Oh, yeah. So I think that he was not offsides. And from our angle, it was hard to tell. And of
Obviously.
course, you know, how many times have we been so excited by, oh, there's a goal, yeah, and then dang it, the flag went up. And so immediately we go on social media and look to see what are people saying that had different views of it. And we kept seeing, oh no, he definitely was not offsides. But the problem is, of course, they need to have like they have to be sure. And unfortunately, there wasn't enough
Right,
there
and I
for
think
that.
Jim said that Ted said that the angle wasn't right on the camera or something to overturn it, which, come on, that's a weird
They
excuse.
need to do better.
They do need to do better. Like I was talking to Ed yesterday about that. They need to go to the World Cup thing where they have that like light laser line or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I don't know. If he's offsides, he's offsides. I think Jones keeps him on sides, but regardless, I mean, it was good to see
Hmm.
at that time Mikel getting a goal,
Hmm.
having a nice strike on net. And then, it kind of the first half was back and forth. It was, we had our opportunities. They had some opportunities, but not as many as us. And you kind of were like, okay, this is a typical Wednesday night game.
Right.
I thought the energy was good from the crowd early on.
Especially for a Wednesday.
Exactly. And obviously Jason helped with that,
Yeah.
getting the river end fired up. Second half, again, you look at it, we come out, and that second half, you could really see Cincinnati. Charlotte was getting tired. They were getting real tired. So, I thought Union took really good possession. Really started getting the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Creating opportunities. The own goal at the end of the day
Yeah.
bounces off the post, bounces off goalkeeper. You can
But
say what you want.
but that was a nice cross there by Wagner, and then that header by Gazdag was really good.
And that was good to see. The whole build up from the back. Usually we play long ball through, and then we're trying to run onto it, create a chance or counterattack. That time we actually build up, had a scoring play.
Yeah.
Remember that? And it was like, oh, that's really effective. And so you love to see, the long ball attacks that we were doing all night. But then we see this again, different ways of creating chances and opportunities was really, really awesome.
And
to
the more
see.
chances you can create, the more things like, well, just looking out, having that ball knock off the goalie's knee, was it, or whatever. But
Yeah. And then there was that ball that like Gazdag like just flicked over the goalkeeper and it was ruled offsides. And again, it was like, how was he offsides? Because that was the one too. I was like, there's no way he's offsides. We were right there and it didn't look like he was offsides. Now I did see the video and again, it was 50-50. Was he on? Was he off? But the first one probably was more of like, yeah, he was on than that one. But Ted Uncle and his crew I wouldn't say they were horrendous on the night because I've seen
we got uncled.
Yeah, we did, but not as bad as I've seen Ted Uncle do.
Right.
I mean, this was actually one of Uncle's standard games, so I was cool with that. But do we want to talk about, and maybe we should, Chris Donovan getting a lot of flack for his offsides, just kind of.
Oh, and then
just
he's
kind
offsides in the terrible miss there.
Yeah, and people are comparing it to one of your former swimmers,
Andrew Wanger.
dribbling the ball out of bounds.
Do you think he knew he was offside there and he just kind of missed?
Well, that's what I'm concerned with. Did you know the flag was up and just but even still, you should have
You can
passed.
still try to make a legit shot. You just never know.
Right. And the other problem I had with that was you had two guys running down the center field. All you got to do is cross that ball in. You didn't do that in Colorado. Allie told you 99% of the time that gets through. This time you really want to get that shot goal because I know he wants to get that league goal.
He thought he learned.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he should have crossed over, but at the same time, I think some of the hate is unwarranted because I think he kind of gave up on the play and just shot it.
And there's some people voting for him for All-Star game as they're doing their voting.
I mean, let's stuff the ballots and get him in. Yeah. Kind of like the Giants when you got Brandon Crawford in the All-Star game when he was hitting 218. And they were like, wait, everybody's like, how did he get in? It was like Golden Glove because he was Golden Glove that year, but it was funny. I remember that year. We like Giant fans stuffed the ballot. And we got like all these Giant players in, and it was like, okay, so stuffed the ballot for Chris Donovan.
Meanwhile, I was like voting for like everybody on the Union except I didn't vote for Donovan. I voted for Corey Burke just because.
You voted for Matt Chop Troll.
Oh, the one
Yeah.
like fake one. Well, actually, I did
Yeah.
actually submit the one. I was like, this one I'm just going to, because it was on a different like IP, so like I could vote again. But like I was like, I'm just gonna do one based on the coolest names, either the coolest or weirdest names. And yes, Matchup Troll was one of them. Yes, but yeah, I have. You can probably guess a couple of the ones that I would have chosen, but anyway, yeah.
But overall, Wednesday night was a great night. You know, good defensive performance. You left there feeling happy. Like, yeah, you could have won some more goals, obviously, but at the end of the day, we got the job done. We got 3 points, and you feel good heading into Saturday. So
yeah, absolutely.
But let's one other thing talk about, and this was a big sticking point as we were heading out that night. The parking situation.
People were livid.
So with this whole construction, Jim talked about, because right now they're down to one training field, and they're probably gonna have to train the stadium now. Which they kind of knew. I know Joe Tanzi talked about on his podcast, but I kind of agree. Like, you know, they're gonna pave them eventually,
right?
I mean, Lot G, when we got there, was like, oh, this is Sons of Ben lot again. You know, Rocky. I hear some people say, oh my gosh, it's like parking in Mars and all this, and it's like, it kind of is, but at the same time,
even if they're charging you like $30 to park, they could at least pave it.
I think they're going to, though.
Yeah. Well, the Sons of Ben tailgate area is paved nicely.
Yeah, but my whole thing is, we're seeing these reports that, and I don't know how true this is, but people were being moved from Lot B and then getting charged more and then having to park in like just this grass area.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's not really the greatest look.
No.
But I think the union are going to fix it. I hope they fix it. I mean, they really do need to.
Well, that, and they also need to do better with people leaving at the end too.
Yeah,
it's just a cluster, you know what.
I think one thing I've noticed is early in the season when Lot B was still open, things were flowing really good. And I know I saw some people saying, oh man, we got out there in no time. I will say this. For even like these last 2 nights, on last night we got out of there right away because there's no traffic.
Well, we
stuck around
for a while.
But like even Wednesday night, we stood there for a little bit, but then I have to go back to those games trying to just get out and get back.
We got out a little quicker.
We've been getting out even on like busy nights a lot quicker than we would have last year. I felt
they really could use someone directing though between Lot G and what is it, Lot H, right across there.
Just like pointing,
because there's 2 different sides coming out and trying to merge, and people, yeah, it's just kind of a mess.
Yeah, but hopefully they figure that out. But if you have been moved, I would love to hear, like, you know, what your situation is over there. We've heard some people say there's no even attendance over there directing, so kind of what we're seeing. But I know from our end, we've been getting out a lot quicker this year too. You know,
yeah, for us, because we got to go get on 95, so it's not so bad.
Yeah. So and then after the game, we headed to the Longwood Wawa.
Yes, got my victory iced matcha with oat milk and
promoted podcast.
And the great thing is, we usually see Union fans if we don't end up going super like late after the game, we'll see Union fans there, and yeah, we're like, oh hey, and if you're one of those people we met there, what's up? And
thank you for listening, and also make sure to check out the Free Kick Pod, because we were plugging that. Told Todd that, so
yeah, so we almost always end up at that Wawa on the way home. We were there last night too, and I got my matcha once again.
Victory matcha. So anyway, let's turn to last night.
What a game.
What a game. And also, what a night. What a great environment. We talked about some of the stuff you had gotten. And So here's some scenes from last night. Hold on here. I'm going to plug up the screen here.
Yeah, so we started by going to the Sons of Ben tailgate, and we had signed up to do the tie dyeing.
All right. Yeah, and here's we
And
got there,
yeah,
and really good crowd. This was like almost 2 hours. This was like 4 o'clock. Like
we got there just a little bit before 4 o'clock.
yeah, it was a really good night,
Mhm.
good crowd. And last night they had it was
So
obviously
it was the
Pride
Pride
night,
night. Yeah.
but they were doing tie-dye t-shirts.
Yes.
So we got some t-shirts here.
And I haven't tie dyed in years. I loved doing this as, like a teenager. And yeah, there's me tie dyeing, going for all the colors.
Yeah. So
And Kyle did his then in like kind of a yellow, green, and blue. And yep, so there they are. We just rinsed them out tonight. So yeah, so they turned out really good.
yeah, yours, I would say yours, man, yours really turned out good with all the different colors. I kind of just stayed with.
Yours looks good though too. Like I like the color scheme there. Yeah, mine is just colors all over the place.
Yeah, I tried to keep it blue and gold. I knew the
Mhm.
green was gonna come in, and green's one of my favorite colors, so I was kind
Yeah.
of like, all right, blue, yellow, green. It's gonna look.
I
It's
put a lot
gonna.
of purple in mine. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I have a lot of purple and blue and green and yellow and everything and some pink in there, but the lighting in our little utility room doesn't let mine show up as good, but it's still good. So yeah. So they turned out good. I was really excited about that. And so yeah, we had a great time at the tailgate.
Yeah.
Great crowd
It was
as
a great
always.
crowd. We of course saw Todd and Shelby.
Shelby, who is his sister, by the way. I won't call out anybody, but
All right, we're gonna still bring that up. All right.
nah, it's all good.
Anyway, but no, it was really nice. We got to meet Jeremy Sharp
Yeah.
from Bear Fight. Jeremy
Yeah.
found out that one of my former, well, we kind of overlapped. Like I
Right.
graduated and he came in the next year. Tim Robinson was a really good guy. Hung out with him a lot as I was finishing up college.
Mhm.
You know, Jeremy, I think, what did he say, was his brother-in-law or
Yeah, his brother-in-law.
yeah, like, so that's a weird thing, but
It's a small world when it comes to swimming, honestly.
it is. But just talking to Jeremy, like, we gotta get him on the pod at some point and just talk about that, because we were sharing swimming, grassroots soccer. Obviously, he had the episode on the free kick, which is one of my favorite episodes, just talking about grassroots soccer. And we were explaining to him how that's interested in local soccer grassroots here in Lancaster. So that was really cool just to hear his story, and then get to meet some of his friends, and sitting there with Ed, as always, just chatting with him and chatting with some other people there throughout the night. I thought it was a good.
Oh yeah,
it was a great evening.
it was, and the weather was just great.
Perfect.
There was a bit of time there where it got a little cloudy and looked like, and the wind picked up, but other than that, it ended up being a really, really nice evening. I mean, this whole weekend was nice. It was gorgeous today. And so yeah, so we did that, and of course Union Yards was like dead. They didn't have any live music going though. It
They
was
didn't have
like,
any
so
live music, and again, they don't promote this. They like
yeah.
promoted it. Like, I saw one for like the foundation thing. I'll come over to Union Yards and check out but like last night there was no promotion of it.
No.
I'm not sure what the plan is with that, but they have not done a good job with promoting it. I thought the march was good, and obviously
Yeah.
we were kind of hanging back there.
Yeah,
But
yeah, between you and Ed. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, let's get moving. And we fell behind. So, but the march in took a different route because of the grassy areas by the plaza being closed off. So now the march was going right through the plaza area.
which I kind of like.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna look good. I think that's
Yeah.
gonna get more people interested in Sons of Ben, and again,
Yeah.
it's a win-win.
Yeah, because people are all as you're walking through there, people are watching, and I'm sure there are probably people that joined in too, like before. But
I'm sure.
so no, I thought that was good. And then we went and saw the dogs and
Yep.
yeah, so then we went in.
Yeah, and so great crowd last night. It was packed. Union rotated a little bit, obviously gave some guys a night off, as Jim had said, during midweek. But man, and I know Montreal has the Canadian Championship coming up on Wednesday, so you figured they were heavily rotated, I felt.
Right.
But right from the start, Union just came out looking like, even though they were rotating a little bit, they still played the 5 in the back, 3 in the back, wherever you want to call it. I thought instantly Flock and Choo Choo were excellent.
Choo Choo got the start. Very exciting.
And Choo Choo played like a starter.
He did. He had a really good game.
I'm not saying, and people are like, well, wait, he's maybe not on Martinez's level. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you got to rely on Choo Choo for a game or two,
and we're probably going to have to.
Yeah. Well, we are definitely going to have to next game. I mean, that's the lineup you want to go with, because he looked great.
Oh, yeah.
Alongside Flock. So I thought the double pivot looked good. They moved Kai in, just a center back position. He was fine.
Yeah, I thought, and Matt Real.
Matt Real played very well. Yeah, he played some really nice balls. It was a very defensive heavy lineup, but it worked. I mean,
it did.
A defensive heavy lineup that put 3 goals out there. You take that any day, even though, yes, you can use caveat, well, they were heavily rotated. Okay, that's fine. But you're still putting up 3 goals against good MLS opponents. So,
yeah.
And Montreal might not be what they were last year, but at the same time, they're still right there in that 9-10 spot. And they beat us,
Well, and since they had beat us in the most ridiculous way when we played up there, I think it was Jim even said something in his press conference about when we lost them, it was kind of absurd or whatever, how it happened, and if you, in case anyone forgets, we had Bendick in the goal. Julian goes out on a red card for a double yellow.
Yeah, it was a weird game.
We ended up losing like late in the
but
game.
at the same time, last night, first half was a little back and forth. I know Jim was talking about that. They got some opportunities. Blake had a nice save early on. But then Carranza with that
chef's kiss, that first goal of his.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a beauty. And that was around the 12th minute or so. It was. So, I mean, it was world class.
Now in the 14th minute, this was kind of cool, and you brought that along with you.
Yeah, so 14th minute,
they were doing the soccer brawl.
Yes.
And everybody, there's some pictures out there. I know we posted a couple, but that was really cool
for everybody.
Yeah, that was a really cool.
And we also had, they gave out at the front gates armbands.
Yep.
They're like the captains, like armband things.
Yeah.
So they're cool. Yes.
So yeah, and then going into like 36 minutes, you look good, and then you had that nice build-up play there. Nice ball goes across. Matt collects it, and nice ball in from Carranza looking for a second, and then the ball drops off. Nice stop there, but what's his name? Pat Demanis, the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Makes a nice stop, and right on a difficult line, just being there, working, just bangs it right in. And that was one of those goals where you even watch the replay, Gazda's on the other line, if that ball goes the other way, that's his goal. But Ua from his angle knocks it right in.
Yeah.
And in this picture, credit to the Philadelphia Union photo group out there. Beautiful picture.
Oh, yeah.
I love this picture so much. It just, he finally got his goal. He gets robbed on Wednesday, and he gets it, that night. So it was good to see.
We enjoyed that goal.
It was good to see Mikel get that goal. Now he's got 6 on the year. And, and then the second half, you could say at the end of the first half, okay, we're up 2-0. We got some goals. But you kind of wanted more.
Yeah.
I thought the second half, we came out, just, again, had that energy, looking for that third goal. Julian on a ball that bounces and then bounces off somebody else. Kind of a fluke goal, gets it in.
Yeah, at first we were thinking, oh, is that gonna be ruled an own goal?
Goal.
But because it was on target, I think, and it just kind of
yeah,
deflected.
they gave it to him.
Hey, no complaints here. No
No,
complaints.
but I mean,
Ninth goal for number 9.
and so on the night,
Mhm.
we get some subs in, some stars go out. We see Lowe come in, even though he had fluid, as Jim said, ungodly amount of fluid.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Oh,
Drained out his knee. Jose came in. Who else came in? Oh, did Pereira come in?
yeah, Perea came in.
And so did Torres.
Yep.
So we had like the whole ensemble comes in. So it was good to see those two get some minutes. Because we're gonna need them coming forward too, especially with the international window coming up. So
yeah.
I mean, overall, we shut down then. Great defensive performance overall. I thought the back line was phenomenal last night.
They were, Jack looked real good.
Elliott looked good. I thought Glesnes was fine. Harriel's, as long as he keeps improving offensively, he's
and
fine.
Don't forget, Harriel had a really nice shot.
He did
there. That was really good shot. I wish that had gone in for him, but
anyway,
shots on goal.
Let's talk about. So we get 3 points, but let's talk about the crowd atmosphere.
So around the 65th, I'd say it was like maybe around the 65th minute, somewhere around there. Yeah. So we start doing, in the river end, the Shalala cheer.
Yeah.
And where we go back and forth with the sections, which tend to be where now we're in 136 and we're on that end of the river end. And then it goes over to like the Keystone State Ultras, and it kind of goes into the sideline side a bit over there in the corner. But last night, which is something that hasn't happened ever, getting the whole stadium doing the chant, it kind of started going on the sideline to the right of us.
Yeah.
And everyone's super excited then at that point. And we have these videos posted on our Twitter, so you can see what the
and sounds. Then we had this, and then the lights start coming around 136 and the whole stadium.
Yeah, the whole stadium started putting on their cell phone flashlights, and this went on for about 10 minutes.
It was incredible.
It was so incredible. And I don't remember having that much fun and excitement at a game probably since, probably the Eastern Conference Final or something. I mean, for it to be just a regular game like that. And
then Todd,
please, more of this, fans. Keep it up.
And then Todd Lewis on the free kick had posted this, the walking tifo.
Which, yes, we helped pass that.
Yeah.
Yep. That was great.
The tifo just moving around.
It's funny because a little bit before that, and before I guess our full stadium chant was going, some people started, not in our section, but some people down tried to start doing the wave, and we're all like, no. And then they start, saying, screw the wave, basically, and all that. And then eventually all of our chanting went on. We had the tifo being passed then, which was great.
Yeah. So that was fun. And then here's some more angles from the chant last night.
Courtesy of Todd at the free kick.
Yeah, from the press box. You can see the whole chant. I hopefully the audio picks this up because I'm not getting anything in my headphones right now, so I apologize. But yeah, I mean, this whole area right in here is chanting. And like they're chanting at the far end, the other end of the stadium. Like it was a full stadium chant. So my whole thing is I hope we see more of this in the future, because this is kind of the stuff that as fans you hope to see.
Yeah. Maybe a dumb question, but your computer isn't on mute, is it?
No.
Okay, just making sure. As a teacher, these things.
No.
Okay, I always have to check. But yeah, so definitely I'm sure a lot of you have seen the footage of what went on. And it was this morning, I spent time watching the game recap and actually watching just kind of the whole ending of the game, where I wanted to see how it looked from the Apple TV perspective. And boy, did we sound great or what as a crowd.
We did.
Oh my goodness. And I also went on to check and see I wanted to see another view of what looked like a Jack Elliott goal. When I was watching it from our end, I swear I saw it cross the line. It looked like it from our end.
It did,
because we were, behind and to the right a little bit of the goal. But of course, it was not ruled a goal, and they checked it. But I still maintain I think it should have been a goal. But there's a few that Julian should have had a hat trick. Which before the game, I said, Kyle, Julian's gonna have a hat trick. He skied that one, which is a bummer, but he still got a brace.
He's a fierce, he's ruthless, and but he kept trying, even, so I'm not worried about that. Let's move on to your fashion segment. All right. And we'll come back to that.
Okay.
All right. So let's move on to the fashion segment here, and we'll look at some of the items that we reviewed this week.
Yeah, so we went in the team store before the game, and there's some new Mitchell and Ness items. And so there's me with a sweatshirt, gray sweatshirt. Nice, simple. I like it. And what do you think, Kyle?
It's nice. It's very comfy.
Yeah, it looks comfy.
It's very comfy, and good embroidery with the patch. I really like the hat.
The hat's nice. It reminds me of the one I have, except mine's like all white. It has more of like kind of a silvery logo on it. I like that.
I like the logo on that.
I do too.
It's a very nice cap. I was actually thinking of buying that. But and then on the next slide here, we got this. This is really nice. It's
I really like this
jacket.
Yeah, that's a really nice jacket. And if I didn't already have the one jacket I got, the reversible one, I'd probably be all over getting this. I like how there's the logo on the back there, and then you have the small logo on the front and the details down the sleeves. Very sharp. I like it.
It is. And I like the color combination as always.
I like the gold on the sleeve.
I do too. And like you said, I like the back with the logo on the back. I think that's just a really nice spring, fall warm up for cold nights. It looks really nice. And then
so on the left, the black Love Unites shirt, and we saw people get this, and I definitely am a fan. I like that, and I like how the colors pop off of the black, and so we might possibly be purchasing that next time. Next time we go.
But let's talk about the
one on the right. I'm showing the price tag on purpose.
What was it? It was something outrageous. Let me see if I have it. It was, let me see here. $50 for just a basic plain t-shirt.
It's just a basic, like a light blue, basic plain t-shirt with the snake logo. That's all was on it. And they went $50 for that.
Nothing on the back. Just that.
Which
$50.
Yes.
I mean, it's a comfy shirt. But for those of you that have checked out the team photos from the player
arrival
photos from last night, let's talk about that real quick. Now, we did not post that one, but Mikel Ua.
Yes, and we love you, Mikel, but
we have questions about the, what is it? Acne Studios t-shirt.
Acne, like pimples and stuff.
All it says kind of acne. If you've seen it, it just says Acne Studios here.
Like small font, and it's just a plain t-shirt with Acne.
So I was curious, what was Acne Studios? Is it like maybe something, because I never heard of them? Is it like a production company? Maybe he has something that's back in Denmark that he works on with music or movies or something like that, and he's just repping his brand. And then I found I was like, oh, it's a fashion brand. That's a European fashion brand. So I'm like, okay. So then I go look for the shirt, and it looked like it was older. So I Googled the image, found the shirt, found it at Saks Fifth Avenue. And in Saks Fifth Avenue, they want $260 for a basic t-shirt.
For a t-shirt. Yeah.
For a t-shirt. Now it's a thicker t-shirt, but
still, I mean, I want to know, does he have some connection, or is that just fashion for him? Because I mean, if he got that, for whatever reason, okay. I'm just like the regular person though, paying that much for a t-shirt. So no judging me wanting that $85 concert union t-shirt from the team store, which our anniversary is coming up. Yeah.
So let's look at this last one here then.
Okay, this was my favorite one. So this is the blue hoodie. It's a lightweight hoodie, and it has the Philly. Look, it's kind of like that jacket that I got you, the button down jacket. And it's got some, you can't see it on there, but I believe it has some light blue detailing around the
It's really
sleeves.
nice.
It is really nice. Actually, you could get that for me maybe instead of the concert shirt. It costs actually, I think, slightly less, even, believe it or not.
I thought this was a fashion review, not you asking for merchandise.
It's both. No, but actually I really like that, and I'm very high on that one. I would definitely wear that. Of course, as we're getting into the summer months, but sometimes it's chilly at night.
It does. It was getting chilly last night a little bit.
It was.
So, all right. So wrapping up here. So Union. I want to talk about one fun stat after last night it came out. Union had outscored their opponents at home by 50 points in the last 20 matches. All right. That is an incredible. What do you think about that?
Oh, it is incredible.
What was it? It was like 61-11 or something.
Just
crazy.
insane.
Which is the most in the MLS, like history of the MLS, which so that was interesting to see. And then Tom Bogart had retweeted something interesting that Julian has 6 goals and 1 assist in his last 6 games. That's excellent to see as well.
Yeah.
And of course his name was like Union or 510. Take that, and apparently we all know Europe is on the phone for Julian.
Yeah.
But that I was talking with Evan about this last night. If some team bangs on the door, says, "Hello, I'd like 15 million," and you're gonna have to give some back to Miami, but I want 15 million for Julian. I mean, $15 million.
I see this, as I've seen pointed out, this could go down as number one, the biggest steal ever.
Oh, it will.
And secondly, this could be the biggest deal we make.
It very well could. And what you could then say to the other team is, "Oh yeah, we'll take that, but we'd like to loan him back for the year." So
yeah, as long as we get to have him,
kind of what they did with Gaga in Chicago last year.
Yeah.
Chelsea bought him and then they loaned him back.
Yeah,
you could do that.
I, for one, and I know there are some other people that would be very sad to see Julian go right now. And especially just the season he's having for us. He's only one goal behind for the lead for the Golden Boot. And he's only behind Bouanga and Mukhtar.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's a few others that are at 9 as well, and he's just phenomenal. Credit to him. It's so good to see this from him coming to us from Miami last year, and just what a great thing. And
so I think that's exciting to see.
Yeah.
And the other interesting piece of this as we wrap up. So, we talk about we'll get to that. We'll talk about, coming up with international break, right?
Right.
But before that, Union had played all these games. May was crazy busy.
Right.
And now they're going into a thing where they have San Jose on Saturday, then they have a week off, then they have Orlando, Miami, and and then you head into pretty much the month of July. We got the Gold Cup coming up. You have Gold Cup, you have I don't think we have anybody for Nations. But at the same time, that means Biza's probably gonna be gone for a little bit. I think they have Cameroon has a game. Jose's gonna be gone. Blake's gonna be gone. Who else? I don't know. But right now we're 3 points behind.
For a moment we were in second last night.
1 point behind Nashville.
But Nashville, Hani Mukhtar to go and score.
behind
Cincinnati.
So my question to you is, do you feel that, with this break coming up, with these opponents, a lot of travel coming up, do you think we still have the chance to catch everybody?
I think we do. It's going to be tougher.
I do too.
It's going to be tough when we're missing Andre for several games, and hopefully Joe Bendick can, hold it down. But
is Joe even going to be the one?
Do we get to see Holden Trent?
Well, that's just it. It has you guys figure it's gonna be Bendick. I mean,
Yeah.
Jim's gonna go with Joe. But as he said in his one press conference, it depends on how Phil's feeling. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and he did bring up a little bit about you too. So maybe I still think that's 99 chances are happening are 99 to 1
Mm-hmm.
out of 100 that Holden plays. But
Right.
at the same time, my whole thing is you really do have to figure out what you have with your number one draft pick.
Yes. Yeah, we do.
Your first round is not number one, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
First round draft pick. You have to figure out what you have with that. So
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, I still think Joe starts those games. So you're hoping then
Mhm.
and Damien's gonna be gone. So now you're hoping
Mm-hmm.
that you're gonna get some defensive step up. Maybe you see some Brendan Craig. I don't.
Yeah, hopefully defense can just really keep it from getting back to Andre didn't even have to do as much last night. He had that one really good save.
He hasn't been
was
busy. He hasn't been
he was
busy.
really good last night though, as always.
So as long as we
yeah.
can keep the defense can keep the shots to a minimum, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, that one save, I think I said, yeah, Joe Bendick could never have probably gotten that one. That one was just class. But I mean, he's a good backup. But yeah,
I'm confident it'll be an opportunity for some of the homegrowns that are coming back now from the U20 World Cup since they got bounced today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but it'll be good to get them back in the
Right.
fold. I'll be interested to see what those lineups are looking like.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Saturday we won't have Jose.
Yeah. So he got a yellow card accumulation. I
still don't understand that call.
It was dumb. It was dumb because so Jose gets taken down by
I forget the guy.
Yeah. So he gets taken down by the Montreal player and he's trying to get up and basically Jose pushes him on the chest and then
he doesn't even push, he just puts his hands. He literally just kind of patted him on the chest like it's all good. Like Jose wasn't even trying to get like
when I watched it did you watch the actual like video on
I was watching it real time. No, when
I went back and watched it. Okay, so live I'm like, what the heck? But when I watched it on Apple TV, I could see there was a bit of a shove kind of there. But
the guy sold it too.
But yeah, he got pushed in the chest and all of a sudden he grabs his face and total embellishment there. I mean,
he could have gotten red. You could give him red for embellishment.
I mean, if you haven't seen the video, watch it and tell me what you think because I think that was a big time flop by Montreal guy.
And either way, it's a yellow card.
But yeah, I mean Jose, when he's one yellow card away from having a suspension there, you got to play it a little cool. And as we know, Jose, well, I'm surprised it took this long to be honest. But it's gonna stink not having him. So we'll see what Choo Choo.
I'm actually, if we go double pivot again with Flock and Choo Choo, I'm confident that they'll be fine. I mean, obviously, Abobasi and Espinoza are going to be tough. I mean, and then you're also going to have Montero there. I mean, and probably, I don't know if K-Cal would be playing, but they're going to have a good. San Jose's good, so it'll be a tough. We gotta hope to get some points before the Gold Cup, and all that. So if we do that, I think we're gonna be good. At the end of the day, I would love to see us just keep climbing the table, and who knows, maybe Cincinnati gets cold. Obviously,
let's hope. I mean, can they keep this going? How they're going?
Possibly, but at the same time,
it's hard to keep.
Never say never.
I know. I'm just hoping and hoping.
You hope, and that's the one thing I think as fans we have to do is just hope that they hit a dry patch and we catch them.
Last night we were so hopeful. We're watching that score and that Chicago was, tied at nothing with them, and then
yeah. I mean, I think Nashville's Nashville. I think we can catch them eventually.
Only 1 point behind them right now.
I'm not worried about Nashville. I think it's going to be more about Can everybody catch Cincinnati?
We need to get as many points as we can. We need to come away with at least 1 point from San Jose.
We got tough leading into Leagues Cup. We got some tough games, which is also good. We play Nashville, we play Atlanta.
Well, we've proven like lately we can play on the road.
I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying,
not that our opponents were that great, but
well, we had some good ones.
Look at Colorado. They even won a game in Dick's Sporting Goods Stadium.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
So anyway, well, that was it for today, I guess.
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning in. And again, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. If we would love, I want to know, do you think we can catch Cincinnati? What's your verdict? Do you think at the end of the year we can catch them, or at least make a run to where, we finish second in the Shield? And then we gotta hope that they get knocked out early and we get home field advantage in the playoffs. So
yeah.
But make sure again to subscribe on Apple, YouTube, and Spotify if you're new. And thank you again for listening. And for the One Team We Agree On, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
And we'll see you next time.